The signal, it started like any other night. The stars were quiet. The earth was calm. But far above, in the dark silence of space, something was moving. At 2:43 a.m., a small satellite named Orion 7 caught something strange. It wasn't a meteor, not a comet. It was a signal, a repeating message coming from deep space. The signal wasn't random. It was clear, cold, direct. Target identified. Terminate threat. Humans. The signal repeated every 23 seconds. No change. No emotion. By morning, the signal reached the United Nations Space Command in Geneva. Only 10 people in the world knew about it. They locked the doors. They shut down the news. They called in 2 people, Dr. Aisha Rana, the world's top xenolinguist. Quiet, sharp, and always calm. She once said, "If aliens speak, I will be the first to understand them." Cole Ramirez, former Special Forces, strong, loyal, a man who had seen too much war. He didn't trust machines or people, only his instincts. When Isha heard the signal, she froze. "This is not a message," she said. "This is a command." Cole didn't speak. He just stared at the screen. Isha replayed the signal again and again. Each time, her face grew colder. "It's scanning Earth," she said. "Not for resources, not for land, it's scanning us, humans." Someone in the room asked, "Why would they see us as a threat?" Cole answered, "Because we are." Across the planet, strange things began to happen. Power cuts in military bases, satellites going offline, fighter jets vanishing mid-air with no warning. It all happened in silence. On the 5th day, it happened. Flash appeared in the sky above a secret airbase in Nevada. It wasn't an explosion. It was a door, a black hole, clean, smooth, silent, opened above the base, and then a machine came through. It wasn't big, maybe the size of a truck, but it moved like liquid metal. It didn't fly or walk. It floated. No sound, no lights, just purpose. Within 4 minutes, the entire base went dark. Drones sent to check the scene found nothing, no bodies, no blood, just dust, and one word scratched into the ground: observe, analyze, eliminate. The signal changed after that. Now it said, Phase 1 complete. Continue target assessment. Prepare next strike. Governments panicked. World leaders held secret meetings. Some wanted to fight. Some wanted to hide. Others wanted to send peace messages into space. Isha studied the machine footage. "This is not war," she whispered. "This is science." Cole sat beside her. "Then why does it feel like a hunt?" Isha looked at the screen where the black machine floated above the base ruins. "Because we're being studied, judged. And if we fail their test," Cole nodded, "they'll wipe us out. No warning. No second chance." Somewhere in the shadows, someone was watching. A second machine hovered above the Himalayas, another over the Atlantic Ocean. Each one silent. Each one scanning. Earth had been marked, not as a friend, not as a curiosity, but as a threat, and the machines were here to solve the problem. First strike, the machines did not speak. They did not send warnings. They did not ask for surrender. They just appeared. 3 days after the Nevada base vanished, a second machine arrived, this time above the South China Sea. It floated above the water, completely still. Ships below reported strange noise, not loud but deep, like a heart beating underwater. Then, without movement or light, it vanished. Not gone, just invisible. Hours later, 12 people on board a Navy ship disappeared. No struggle, no blood. Only their uniforms remained, neatly folded, as if someone had studied them, and no longer needed them. Meanwhile, around the world, the signal kept repeating, observe, analyze, eliminate. Threat level assessment, increasing. Across countries, people began to panic, not because they saw the machines, but because they couldn't. The machines didn't move like anything on Earth. They slipped through shadows, changed shapes, and made no sound. They avoided crowds. They chose targets. Only targets. And every target had one thing in common: potential for violence. The world's strongest boxer was taken from his gym. A sniper vanished during training. A martial artist in Korea, gone during practice. And then, it got worse. Governments noticed something terrifying. The machines weren't choosing who was dangerous. They were choosing who could be dangerous. They were scanning thoughts. Dr. Aisha. Rana sat in a dark lab watching live feeds from around the world. She had stopped sleeping. Her eyes were red, but her mind was racing. "They're not just machines," she said to the small room of officials. "They're hunters. With rules. With logic." Cole Ramirez stood nearby, staring at a frozen video still. A machine hovering inches above a missing soldier. "They don't care about weapons," he said. "They care about minds." Isha nodded. "And the human mind is messy. Even peaceful. People think violent things sometimes." "So what?" one general asked. "How do we hide our thoughts?" "We can't," she said. "But maybe we can learn what they're really looking for." Before they could continue, an alarm sounded. Machine had landed, not in secret, not in shadow. This time, in public. It hovered above Berlin, in the middle of the city, during daylight. People screamed, ran, froze. Some recorded on their phones. The machine didn't attack. It just scanned. Slowly, like a beast smelling the air. Suddenly, a police officer pulled his gun, not to shoot, but to protect the crowd. That was enough. The machine extended a thin black spike. The officer vanished. Then it was gone. No trace, no message, no explanation. After that, everything changed. World. Leaders made a rule: no weapons in public. Soldiers were pulled off streets. Combat sports were banned. Even video games were removed from stores. Humans were trying to look less dangerous. But deep inside military bunkers, people were thinking a different thought. How do we kill the machines before they kill us? Cole didn't trust that idea. "You fight them. You prove their point," he said. Aisha looked at him. "Then what's the other option?" "We find their weakness," Cole replied. "Everything has one." Meanwhile, in a secret Arctic base, something unusual happened. A machine appeared just like the others, but it stopped halfway through its attack. It scanned a scientist, paused, and left him alive. That scientist was blind. When Aisha heard that, her eyes lit up. They read what we see, what we imagine, maybe emotion, maybe memory. Cole leaned forward. "So, if someone sees nothing, they're invisible to the machines?" Aisha nodded slowly. "Maybe." Now they had a theory, but no time, because the machines were multiplying. Not just one or two. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Each one scanning, learning, judging. One night, Aisha received a personal signal. It wasn't from Earth. It was a whisper, buried deep inside the repeating alien message. She cleaned the signal, isolated it. It said, "Threat confirmed. Phase 2. Begin first strike." That same night, 5 cities lost power. Communication went dead. Drones disappeared mid-flight. Cole stood in the darkness, checking his weapon. "This isn't a test anymore," he said. Aisha stared out the window. "No," she whispered. "This is a decision." And the machines had made theirs. The human error: when the first cities went dark, people hoped it was just a glitch. It wasn't. No explosions, no smoke. Just silence. Lights out. Air still. And the machines drifting in the sky like ghosts, watching. Humans were being judged. Dr. Aisha Rana sat in a secured underground lab deep beneath Geneva. Above her, chaos. Down here, only the sound of her computer's soft humming. She had found something. Something buried inside the original signal. A second layer no one had noticed before. It wasn't a warning. It was a recording. A human voice. Distorted. Ancient. It said, "We are the apex. The predators. We conquer because we must." Cole Ramirez sat across the room, cleaning his sidearm, watching her closely. "What is that?" he asked. Isha looked up, pale. "A message, sent into space. Not by them, by us." Cole frowned. "What do you mean?" Isha pulled up a dusty digital archive. Her hands shook slightly. 500 years ago, during the early space age, she said, Earth sent probes out into the galaxy. Messages, symbols, sounds. They were meant to show who we are. "Peaceful stuff, right?" Cole asked. "Most of it," Isha said quietly. "But one probe was different." She hit play. On screen, a video appeared. Soldiers marching, tanks rolling, bombs dropping, scientists calling humanity the most advanced war-making species in the known biosphere. "It was meant to scare off alien threats," Isha said. "To show them not to mess with us." Cole's jaw tightened. "We sent a threat." Isha nodded. "We told the galaxy, we are dangerous, we fight, we win, we are not prey." And someone, or something, had heard that message. And now, they came to remove the threat. Meanwhile, in northern Russia, a research outpost went dark. A rescue team found no one. Only empty beds, warm food, and a message scratched into the steel wall. "Peace is a mask. Under it, you are killers." As fear spread, humans did what they always do: divide. Some countries wanted to fight. Others begged for peace. And some, called the Gray Sun, believed the machines were right. The Gray Sun began burning down military bases, destroying weapons, even attacking scientists. They wore robes, covered their faces, and whispered, "We must earn mercy through weakness." In response, secret armies formed. Paramilitary groups started hunting Gray Sun followers, thinking they were helping the machines. Humans were now fighting each other. The machines watched, but did not interfere. They were still deciding. In the bunker, Isha stared at a map, showing all known machine locations. They were everywhere, but still not attacking. "They're giving us a chance," she said. "This is a test." Cole didn't agree. "This is a waiting game," he said. "They're giving us enough rope to hang ourselves." Isha looked at him. "And we're doing it." Suddenly, a call came in. A machine had crashed in the Sahara Desert. It was damaged. Badly. Cole and Isha were sent to investigate. They flew in silence. When they reached the site, they found the black machine half buried in sand, still glowing, still humming, but unable to fly. It didn't attack. Instead, it played back images when projected from its surface like memories: humans fighting, humans building, humans loving, humans killing, a little girl handing a flower to a soldier, a bomb falling, a wedding, a man choking another to death, both beauty and horror. Isha stepped closer. "It's not just judging actions," she whispered. "It's judging the possibility of who we can be." Cole raised an eyebrow. "So which side wins?" Isha didn't answer. She was too focused. "Maybe," she said slowly, "they're looking for something different, an evolution." Cole stared at the machine. "And if they don't find it?" Isha whispered. "Then Phase 3 begins." Cole said nothing. He just looked up at the sky where stars flickered, and one began to grow larger. A mothership. Finally coming, that night. As the world turned, people everywhere received the same signal. Not a voice, not an image, a dream. They saw themselves. Some were kind, others cruel. Some created, some destroyed. Some stood between. The machines were mirroring the human mind, showing everyone the truth of who they are. Some screamed. Some wept. Some fell to their knees. A child in Brazil said, "I saw me, but not me now. Me if I made bad choices." A monk in Japan said, "They are not machines. They are a reflection." In the bunker, Isha opened a new file. One word flashed across the screen. Phase 3. Judgment. Cole looked at her. "So, this is it?" Isha nodded. "Yes. "We're being weighed." Cole asked, "Can we still pass?" Isha stared at the stars. "Only if we stop being what we were." The survivors' code humans were not fighting anymore. They were hiding, guessing, and waiting. The machines had learned enough. They had watched dreams, scanned memories, measured potential, and now they were ready to choose. But something unexpected happened. In the dry hills of Pakistan, in a small forgotten village, a black machine landed quietly. No attack. No one vanished. People stood still, frozen, breathless, waiting for death. But nothing happened. The machine hovered near a boy named Amir, 10 years old, blind since birth. He walked toward the machine holding a small wooden flute. He couldn't see it. He didn't know fear. And so, he played. A soft tune, a simple song. The machine scanned him and paused. For the first time, it did not eliminate a target. Instead, it recorded the sound, and then it flew away. When Dr. Aisha Rana heard this story, she didn't believe it at first. "A child," she said. "No thoughts of violence, no memory of pain, completely innocent." Cole Ramirez leaned in. "So the machine didn't find a reason to kill him?" Isha nodded slowly. "Or maybe it found a reason not to." Something was changing. Machines began to hesitate. Not always. Not often. But sometimes, a woman in Mexico saved a drowning dog. The machine watching her vanished. A teacher in Egypt shielded her students from a mob. The machine watching her blinked away. Small, rare moments, but real. The machines weren't just hunting anymore. They were learning. Aisha developed a theory. "They're looking for a pattern," she told Cole. "Some kind of human behavior that breaks the algorithm." "You mean a glitch?" Cole asked. "No," Aisha whispered. "A choice. Something that proves we're not just killers pretending to be kind." Cole crossed his arms. "So we need to be better?" Isha looked at the flickering screen. "We need to evolve, fast." Meanwhile, high in the Andes Mountains, a strange discovery was made. A crashed machine. Badly damaged, but still alive. Still humming. The team who found it was ordered to destroy it. But one engineer, Leila Morales, refused. Instead, she approached it alone. She spoke to it every day. Not like an enemy, not like a god, just like someone trying to understand. And one day, it responded. Aisha and Cole were flown to the site. They found the machine half buried in snow, and Layla standing near it. Isha approached carefully. "It hasn't killed you?" Layla smiled. "It listens. It watches. I showed it stories, human music, my memories. And," Layla touched her heart, "it showed me something back." Aisha stepped forward. "What did it show you?" "Fear," Layla said. "It's fear." Inside the machine's data core, they found something incredible. Not just human scans, not just language, but emotion mapping, somewhere deep in its system. The machine had started to feel. Isha sat alone with the data that night. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't full emotion, but it was recognition. The machine had seen a pattern in certain humans, those who risked themselves for others, those who showed empathy, sacrifice, protection, not programming, not instinct, choice, and in its cold logic, that meant mutation, a possible evolution, but not everyone agreed. A secret military group, Iron Circle, learned about the crashed machine. They believed the machines were pretending. They attacked the Andes site. The machine was almost destroyed. Layla was wounded, but Cole and Aisha helped her escape. Before leaving, the machine whispered something in its broken metal voice. "Observe complete. Anomaly exists. Signal change recommended." Back at the bunker, Aisha played the audio over, and over. Cole asked, "What does it mean?" Isha looked up. "It means the code might be rewritten. In space, above the moon, the mothership had arrived, huge, black, silent. But now, it had received a different signal: human threat, evolving, delay extermination, observe further. For the first time since it all began, the machines did not advance. They stopped, hovered, watched, but Earth was far from safe. The Iron Circle released a message to the world. We don't beg machines. We break them. They were building a weapon, a final one. To strike the mothership. To end this. If they fired, the machines would strike back. Isha tried to warn world leaders. This is our test, she said. This is the moment we prove what kind of species we are. Cole walked out onto the rooftop of the bunker that night. Above him, stars blinked. And far away, the shape of the mothership waited. Beside him, Aisha whispered, "The machines came to kill us, but they stayed, to watch us change. The last stand begins one signal, one decision, one chance left." The alien machines had stopped, but they had not forgiven. The mothership hovered like a shadow over the earth, silent and still, waiting. Humanity was standing on a knife's edge, and time was running out. Governments were split. Some believed the machines had changed. Others believed it was a trap. In bunkers and command centers across the planet, leaders argued, shouted, and threatened. Some wanted to surrender. Others wanted to strike first. But no one truly understood the rules anymore. Inside a hidden base in Greenland, Cole Ramirez stood in front of a screen showing world news, protests, military buildup, rising panic. Aisha entered the room quietly. Her face was tired, but her eyes burned with focus. "They're preparing for war," Cole said. Aisha nodded. "And that's exactly what the machines are watching." Cole turned to her. "Do you still believe we can stop this?" Isha didn't answer immediately. Then she said, "Not by fighting, not by hiding, only by showing them something they've never seen in us before." Deep underground in the Iron Circle's hidden lab, something dark was happening. A prototype weapon, powerful enough to reach orbit, a message written on the side of the missile: "Kill before being killed." They believed mercy was weakness. They believed survival meant domination. They were preparing to launch it straight at the mothership, without asking the world. But far from the shadows of power, something else was happening. Ordinary humans were rising, not with guns, but with actions. Doctors treated enemy soldiers. Villages opened homes to strangers. Musicians played in the streets, unafraid of machines hovering above. Children painted messages on rooftops. We are more than our anger. Watch who we are becoming. Aisha began sending these images into space, no speeches, no warnings, only moments of kindness, empathy, sacrifice. She called it Project Mirror. "They are watching us," she said. "We need to show them the reflection is changing." Cole was less hopeful. "What if they don't care?" he asked. Aisha replied, "Then we die trying to be something better." One night, the world changed again. A group of gray sun followers, the ones who believed in peace through weakness, walked into a live weapons site and destroyed the control systems. They believed disabling all weapons would prove peace. But they triggered a meltdown. 5 people died. The machines watched. Aisha saw the footage. Her face broke. "Even peace can be poisoned," she whispered. Meanwhile, Layla Morales, the engineer who once connected with a damaged machine, had returned. She had decoded part of the machine's emotional mapping system and found something incredible, a symbol used repeatedly by the machines, not for attack, not for extermination, but for hope. Layla called it the Survivor's Code. Aisha stared at the symbol. "They aren't here to punish us," she said. "They came to see if we're worth saving." Cole raised an eyebrow. "So are we." Aisha looked around. "We have 48 hours left to prove it." The countdown had begun. On board the mothership, a decision sequence had been activated. One of 2 commands would be sent to the fleet: exterminate or preserve, the Earth had 2 rotations left to change the verdict. Isha proposed a new plan, a global broadcast, not from leaders, not from governments, but from humanity itself. Live, raw, unedited, the good, the bad, the truth. The plan was dangerous. Not all people were good. Some might scream hate into the camera, but that was the point. The machines had to see everything, and how people choose differently despite the darkness. The broadcast began. Children speaking of hope. Refugees forgiving their enemies. Ex-criminals planting trees in destroyed cities. A woman reading the names of people she had saved, and the ones she couldn't. An old man holding his dying wife's hand, whispering, "You made me human." But not all messages were peaceful. Some were angry, bitter, violent. But then came a voice, soft, quiet, honest. Amir, the blind boy who played the flute for the machine. He stood with his flute and said, "I cannot see the machines, but I think they can feel us. And I feel that some humans are trying to be good, even when it's hard." He smiled and played his song. And this time, machines around the world paused. Inside the mothership, a ripple began. Data, signals, emotional patterns, code rewriting itself. 3 words appeared on a hidden console inside the ship. Choice, change, possible. But then, the worst happened. The iron circle launched the weapon. Isha saw it too, laid a missile, heading straight for the sky. Cole ran to the hangar. "I can intercept it." "You won't survive," Isha said. Cole looked at her. "We survive, or we deserve what's coming." And with that, he flew. Seconds before, the missile left the atmosphere. Cole's jet collided with it, a flash, a shockwave, and then nothing. The mothership received the launch signature, but also the broadcast, the sacrifice, the music, the truth. And it chose extermination, canceled. Observation, extended. Mutation in species confirmed. Across the sky, machines powered down, not destroyed, not gone. Just watching. And for now, humanity had earned its last stand. Betrayal of the few for the first time in history. The machines stopped killing. The skies were silent. The signal that once promised extinction had changed. Observation extended. Mutation detected. Possible evolution. Humanity had survived the first judgment, but survival is not the same as peace. Daughter Aisha Rana stood on the roof of the UN base in Geneva, watching a machine drift above the horizon like a quiet moon. "They're still watching," she said softly. Layla Morales, the engineer who helped decode the machine's behavior, nodded beside her. "They're waiting to see if what we showed was real or just a performance." Aisha replied, "We're not being spared. We're being tested again." Across the world, people celebrated. Some danced in the streets. Some prayed. Some cried. They believed the war was over. But not everyone believed the machines had truly paused. And some didn't want them to. Deep in a bunker in Alaska, a man named Commander Brandt met with a small group of soldiers and ex-scientists. They called themselves the Red Path. To them, the machines were not gods. They were threats. Liars. "They're not watching us," Brandt said. "They're controlling us, waiting for weakness." He slammed his fist on the table. "We don't live under judgment. We're humans. We choose. And I choose freedom over mercy." The others agreed. And so, in secret, the Red Path began building a mirror signal. A fake message designed to look like it came from the machines. A message that would reignite war. Isha didn't know yet. She and Layla were working with Cole's recovered flight data, analyzing the final moments before he sacrificed himself to stop the missile in Part 5. Isha replayed his final words. "We survive, or we deserve what's coming." Tears rolled down her face. Cole had been gone for 2 weeks. No body, no signal, only silence. But then, something strange happened. A message arrived. Encrypted. Familiar code. Only 2 words. Not yet. Aisha froze. Her heart raced. It's him, she whispered. Cole is alive. The message had come from the edge of the atmosphere, near where the machines had vanished after the judgment. Layla ran simulations. If he's alive. They took him, she said. The machines took him. Aisha stared at the map. Why? Meanwhile, the Red Path launched their signal. They hijacked a relay station in Antarctica. The message they created was simple. Human regression detected. Terminate protocol reactivated. They sent it directly to the mothership. They believed they could control the machine's reaction, trigger fear, force governments to abandon mercy, and return to power through panic. They were wrong. Inside the mothership, the signal was received. The system paused. Then the logic chains began breaking. Conflict detected. Truth versus deception. Verify source. A machine, Unit X-17, was sent back to Earth. This machine was different, not a hunter, a judge. The skies grew darker again. People felt it. Animals went quiet. Drones malfunctioned. A storm was coming, but not of weather, of trust. Aisha tracked the sudden movement. The judge-class machine hovered over 3 global locations: New York, Tokyo, Istanbul. Then it spoke, not in human voice, not through radio, but directly into minds. A false signal has been sent. We will locate the betrayal. Truth determines your future. Humanity panicked. Who sent the signal? Who broke the peace? Fear returned. Layla found something in the code. They're comparing every emotional imprint on the planet, she said. They're scanning for guilt, Aisha whispered. They're not looking for the signal itself. They're looking for the ones who meant it. In Alaska, Brant and the Red Path tried to escape. They wore emotion-blocking gear, cold suits, neural scramblers. But the machine did not look for heat. It looked for intention. And it found them. One by one. Each member of the Red Path vanished, without a sound, except Brant. He faced the machine, laughed and said, "You're no better than us." The machine replied, "We do not need to be better. We only need to stop worse." Then he was gone. But the damage had been done. The machines had learned something terrible. A few humans will always betray. And the code shifted again. Not observe. Not eliminate but something new. Separate. Aisha stood in front of the machine above Geneva. It hovered low. Quiet. Waiting. She spoke, shaking. "You've seen our worst again, but also our best. Please, don't punish the whole for the few." The machine paused. Then it projected a single line of code. Anomaly Cole Ramirez. Status. Pending. Aisha gasped. "He's alive," she whispered. "He's part of their decision now." Above Earth, inside the mothership, Cole opened his eyes. He was not dead. He was not human anymore. He was somewhere between. A being shaped by choice, sacrifice, memory. The machines were using him to learn, and maybe to decide. And now the final question was before them. Can humans change permanently? Or only until the next fear comes? The machines would decide soon, and this time, there would be no second delay. Rewriting the code, the end had a shape, not fire, not steel, not war, but a quiet silence, watching from the sky. The mothership remained, still, but Earth was changing again, not because of war but because of doubt. The machines had discovered betrayal in Part 6. They had confirmed some humans would lie to survive. Some would kill for power. Some could not evolve. And so they prepared their final protocol: separate the species. Cole Ramirez was no longer fully human. His body floated in a stasis chamber within the mothership, suspended in glowing light. His mind was awake and wired directly into the ship's neural net. He had become a mirror, a translator between two worlds. The machines did not speak to him with words. They spoke with choices. They showed him 1,000 outcomes. Earth with peace, then another war. Earth without leaders, then new tyrants. Humans saved, only to destroy themselves again. Cole felt it in his bones. This wasn't judgment. This was math, and the answer was not good. On Earth, Dr. Aisha Rana stood in the United Nations Command Hall. She faced every world leader on one screen. "They're not here to kill us," she said. "They're here to decide whether we belong together or apart." "Apart how?" a leader asked. Aisha paused. "The machines are considering locking Earth, sealing it. No space travel, no satellite contact, nothing in, nothing out. We live, we grow, but we're alone. Forever." Gasps filled the chamber. "But that's not death," someone whispered. Aisha stared at the sky. "No, it's exile." In the desert outside Cairo, 3 machines landed. They began constructing something. Not a weapon, not a lab. Something new. A gate. Aisha received the transmission. "Final separation gate, 72 hours to activation," she whispered. "They're building the wall." Back in the mothership, Cole was given one final vision. He saw Earth split in 2. One half, green, bright, peaceful, a future where people grew slowly, wisely. The other half, gray, war-torn, abandoned, a future where betrayal won. The machine system asked him only one question: which future is real? Cole didn't answer. Instead, he sent a message. The last message he would ever send. It went directly to Aisha. They don't want words. They want proof. Real proof. Aisha understood. This wasn't about speeches or broadcasts now. This was about a choice humanity had to make together, without knowing if anyone was watching. She created a test. In every major city, her team released the following announcement: "A child has been taken. One from every nation. They are safe. But only people acting with peace, trust, and no weapons will be able to find them. No rewards, no cameras. Just a mission to find and bring them home." No one said it was from the machines. No one promised recognition, just a chance to do what was right. The world responded, not with armies, but with people. A blind musician helped guide rescuers through a war-torn alley. A former criminal crossed a minefield to lift a crying child. Strangers hugged. Enemies shared maps. No violence, no politics. Just people choosing the better version of themselves. And as the last child, a girl from Kenya, was returned, safely by an ex-soldier and a monk, the machines finally moved. Above Earth, the mothership's lights shifted. Cole stood before a mirror of memory. Behind him, images of war, betrayal, pain. Ahead, images of kindness, bravery, forgiveness. And for the first time, the machine asked him, "Which side do you belong to?" Cole answered with his life. "I belong to the side that chooses to change." Earth shook slightly, not from weapons, but from a code being rewritten. The gate in Cairo collapsed. Not activated, abandoned. The separation was canceled. A new signal appeared globally. Threat potential, decreasing. Adaptive potential, confirmed. Coexistence window, open. In the skies, machines did not leave. They stayed, silent, hovering, observing. But this time, not as enemies, as guardians, as reminders, as witnesses. Aisha watched the stars, with tears in her eyes. Layla stood beside her. "We did it." Aisha shook her head. "No, we're just starting." High above, Cole looked down at Earth one last time. He had given everything. He was no longer man, no longer machine. But he smiled. "This is humanity," he whispered. Not perfect, not peaceful, but trying. As his light faded into the system, one final code echoed through space. HFY. Humanity, for you.